Welcome students of Thakur Vidya Mandir High School and Junior College. Human Health and Disease, Chapter 10, Part 8. In my last lecture, that is in Part 7, I have started with cancer and we have studied about types of cancer. So today let us continue with the other part of the chapter. In today's lecture, we will be studying about causes of cancer, treatment of cancer, and addiction. So, let us start with causes of cancer. Causes of cancer. Although it is still not very clear as to how the cancer is caused, but there may be several factors which are cancer causing, and these cancer causing factors, they are known as carcinogenic, like any substance which is capable to cause cancer. Any substance which is cancer causing, it is known as carcinogenic. Now, there may be n number of factors which are carcinogenic and which is related to our day-to-day life experience. We come in encounter with those type of substances which are carcinogenic. So let us just have a view on the various factors. Number one is chemicals. Now, your chemicals, several chemicals are known to induce cancer. These include nicotine. You all are aware about nicotine. Caffeine, it is found in coffee. Products of combustion of coal and oil. Several polycyclic hydrocarbons, some sex hormones, and steroids, if given or secreted in large amounts, may cause cancer. Breast cancer seems to have hormonal relationship. It is more commonly observed in women who avoid breastfeeding. So the chemicals which result in cancer causing, it may be nicotine, caffeine, products of combustion of coal and oil, polycyclic hydrocarbons, sex hormones, steroids, and sometimes when your body's hormones they are imbalanced, it also result in cancer. In women, the most common type of cancer is the breast cancer. The next is radiation. The X-rays, gamma rays, cosmic rays, ultraviolet rays, etc. are carcinogenic. Incidence of skin cancer is higher in people working in very sunny areas due to UV radiations in the sunlight. So all the radiations like X-rays, gamma rays, cosmic rays, UV rays, all these rays, it result in skin cancer or any form of cancer. But generally the people who work in very sunny areas, they are constantly in contact with the UV light. So they may have skin cancer. The next cause is the viruses. Viruses causing cancer have genes called viral and they are called oncogenes. So the viruses which have the genes which causes cancer, they are called as oncogenes. Onc genes. These viruses are also called oncogenic viruses. For example, EBV, HPV. So these are the example of viruses which causes cancer. The next cause of cancer is the oncogenes. Several genes called cellular oncogenes, that is c-onc genes or proto-oncogenes, have been identified in normal cells which when activated under certain condition could lead to oncogenic transformation of cells. So like our body, they consist of oncogenes which are not actually activated, but in some cases if they are activated, it may turn the normal cells into the cancerous cells. The next cause is addiction. Different types of addictions like smoking, chewing of tobacco because it contains nicotine, it lead to cancer of mouth, lips and lung. You must have seen in the ad, or if you have seen in that smoking packets, the picture of how actually they cause lip mouth cancer. So, alcohol consumption, it may result in cancer of esophagus, stomach, intestine, and liver. Drugs also cause cancer, marijuana, anaerobic steroids, etc. So, drugs, smoking, chewing of tobacco, alcohol consumption, this all may result in cancer. So, these are actually form of addiction, which we will be today studying in the later part of the chapter. So students, we have studied about all the causes of cancer. Now let us study about treatment of cancer. Treatment of cancer. Cancer treatment, it consists of combination of number of therapies which are as follows. Number 1, chemotherapy. You all must have heard this name, chemotherapy. So what it is? Chemotherapy comprises administration of certain anti-cancer drugs. The anti-cancer drugs check cell division by inhibiting DNA synthesis or are more toxic to cancerous cells than to normal cells. So chemotherapy, what it does, it uses the anti-cancer drugs. The anti-cancer drugs, it inhibits the replication of DNA and stops the cell division process. One more thing, that it is not harmful to the normal cells. It is more toxic to the cancerous cell. Chemotherapy may lead to hair loss or anemia, but both get corrected after the treatment is stopped. So there are some side effects of this drug. It may lead to hair loss or anemia because it still affects the normal cells of the body, but it is not toxic to the normal cells. So chemotherapy is one of the treatment of cancer. The next step in the treatment of cancer is radiotherapy. It is used in addition to chemotherapy. In radiotherapy, the basic principle is to bombard the cancerous tissue or cells with the rays from radioactive materials. Here, the use of radiation is done to destroy the tumor or the tissues or the cells. For treatment, the cancer tissues or cells are exposed to radiations from radioactive materials such as cobalt, iridium, and iodine. The rays, X-rays, gamma rays, and charged particles are used to destroy the cancerous tissue or cells but cause minimum damage to the surrounding normal tissue or cells. So, one of the important treatment of cancer is of radiotherapy. So it is used in addition with chemotherapy, and here actually the basic principle is to bombard the cancerous tissue or cells, and it is one of the most widely used technique or the treatment method with the chemotherapy. Surgery. In surgery, the entire cancerous tissue or cells are removed surgically. It has limited utility in certain cases. What happens, such as breast tumor or uterine tumor, the surgery is most effective, but other treatment are also given to kill any cancerous cell that may have been escaped in surgery. So especially in cases of breast cancer or uterine cancer, surgery, the method of treatment is surgery. It is used, and later on antibiotics are given to kill, or anti-cancer drugs are given to kill any of the cells which have been escaped during the process of surgery. Next way of treatment of cancer is immunotherapy. Tumor cells have been shown to avoid detection and destruction by immune system. Our immune system cannot detect the cancerous cells and kill them. Because of that reason, it keeps on growing. Therefore, the patients are given substances called biological response modifiers such as alpha interferon, which activates their immune system and helps in destroying the tumor. So, immunotherapy is nothing but actually stimulating the immune system of the body against the cancerous cell. Next is the supportive therapy. In supportive therapy, trim it is used to treat the symptoms of cancer and side effects of cancer treatments. Objective of this therapy is to improve the quality of life of cancer patient. So this therapy varies depending upon the condition of individual patient. So here supportive therapy, it just add life to the cancer patient, and it depends on the condition of individual, on which stage of cancer they are and what sort of treatment or therapies they are undergoing. So students, we have studied about different types or different methods of treatment of cancer. We have studied about all the therapies which may be used in the treatment of cancer. Now we will be moving on to the next common disease, that is addiction. Addiction. This is a complex condition characterized by compulsive use of substance despite of its harmful consequence. Here, the person is well aware, well informed of its harmful consequence, but still that person is addicted. So it is a complex condition in which there is a compulsive use of harmful substances. Addiction may involve the use of substances, drugs such as alcohol, opioids, cocaine, nicotine, and other, or behavior such as gambling. So this is also a type of, a major type of health problem. There is scientific evidence that the addictive behaviors share key neurobiological features. They intensely involve brain pathways of reward and reinforcement, affecting motivation, which involve the neurotransmitter dopamine. It is important to know that neurological challenges are reversible after the substance use or behavior is discontinued. So what it does, that these drugs actually, they have neurological features and it interfere in the brain pathway, which result in hallucinations and misbehavior behavior, and the neurological connection, the neurons connection with the body is discontinued or disrupted. So addiction overall result in the impairment of physical, psychological, and physiological functions of the body. So addiction, it impairs physical, physiological, and psychological functions of the body. Causes of addiction, or you can also say causes of substances abuse during adolescence. Number one is insufficient parental supervision and monitoring. Number two, lack of communication between child and parents. Poorly defined rules, family conflicts, favorable parental attitudes towards alcohol and drug uses, expectations from drug use, and risk taking behavior. So, this all are the causes of addiction. Methods or measures to control drug abuse. Number one, always remember prevention is better than cure. So it's better to stay prevented, stay at a distance from all the drugs. Avoid undue pressure. A child should not be forced to perform beyond his or her capacities in studies, sports, and other activities. Parent, they should actually have a friendly friendship bond with their child. If child is under pressure, he or she may adapt various other habits which are not good at all. Education and counseling of child to face problems and stress to accept. Disappointment and failures as a part of life channelize the energy of child in sports, studies, and other constructive activities. So actually we should motivate our child, and rather than disappointment and failure we should motivate for them to become successful. So students, I hope you all must have understood about the causes of cancer and the various types of treatment of cancer, and also about addiction. So I want you all to do the assignment.